Season 37 is full of chaos. Some heroes rose to dominance, others fell behind, and a few were silently reborn into the meta. Let's talk about 10 of them one by one. No hype, just facts with a bit of heart. Let's start with Nolan. This hero was already a nightmare for squishy targets, but in Season 37, his presence has become even scarier. With buffs to his passive and tweaks in his burst windows, Nolan can now delete marksmen and mages even faster. But it's not just about damage, it's the consistency. The delay in his skill chains has been reduced, and now he connects his combos smoother than ever. Junglers are finally mastering his rhythm, and players have started building him not just for burst, but also with sustain items like Hunter Strike and Brute Force for longer skirmishes. In high-ranked games, Nolan's ban rate is climbing. That says everything. Now to Amin. This hero has always been misunderstood. Some call him a Gusion Light, but in Season 37, Amin quietly became dangerous again. His passive saw a minor improvement, which now allows him to stick to targets longer during his burst window. More importantly, the meta is starting to suit him less tanky roamers, more squishy gold laners. The invisibility resets still play mind games with enemies, and if timed well, Amin can outplay even the hardest dive comps. He's not top tier yet, but in the right hands, he punishes any mistake. Season 37 gave him that breathing room he needed. Let's talk about Roger. Season 37 brought life back into this hybrid monster. With adjustments to his attack scaling and early game clear, Roger can once again keep up with meta junglers like Nolan and Fredrin. But what's making him really effective now is the rise of teamfights and less reliance on tank junglers. Roger's transformation mechanics give him both initiation and escape, and if you itemize correctly War Axe, Hunter Strike, and Dominance Ice, he becomes this mobile, unkillable beast. He doesn't need a buff, he just needed the meta to come back to him. And now it has. Lancelot, the Prince of Dashes. For a long time, Lancelot felt outdated. But this season, his skill flow feels tighter, especially after the optimization to his passive damage. His early game jungle clear got a slight bump, allowing him to rotate faster and put more pressure on lanes. But Lancelot still isn't easy. He demands precision, perfect timing, and calm under pressure. In Season 37, the players who mastered him are shining again. His strength isn't just in damage, it's in the ability to dodge, reposition, and create chaos. A good Lancelot makes the enemy think twice before committing. Now comes Helkurt. Silence is back, and it's more terrifying than ever. Helkurt was somewhat forgotten last season, but now, he's gaining attention again thanks to the increased impact of surprise pickoffs. With the rise of squishy roamers like Novaria and chip mages in the mid lane, Helkurt thrives. His ultimate still changes the tempo of any fight, and in Season 37, his slow and silence combo are once again lethal. You can't ignore him, you can't face check bushes, and if your team has no vision control, you're already dead. That's the fear Helkurt brings back to the game. Moving on to Gusun. This hero got a rework recently, and Season 37 is when that rework finally matured. His first skills targeting was improved, and his dagger flow feels more fluid. But what truly defines Gusun now is tempo. Get one early kill and he snowballs. Miss one combo and you're useless. In the current season, faster rotations and smarter mid-jungle synergy help Gusun flourish. And with more players experimenting with Genius Wand and Blood Wings, he's becoming less predictable. In the right hands, Gusun is art. Beautiful to watch, terrifying to fight. Let's talk about X-Borg. This is where the meta shift is most visible. X-Borg has been slowly climbing back to dominance, especially in EXP lane. In Season 37, the addition of new talents and the tankier item path allowed X-Borg to outlast almost any duelist. What makes him deadly isn't just his fire, it's the passive true damage. It melts even tanks if ignored. This season, his durability and zoning potential are finally being respected again. You'll often see him control objectives with ease, diving the backline while still surviving with Faraga armor. He's not flashy, but he's incredibly effective. Esmeralda is back. Not completely, but she's definitely waking up. With more shield-based supports and a slight decline in anti-shield items being rushed, Esmeralda can now sustain longer during early game trades. Her landing phase against most fighters is decent again, and in Season 37 with new mobility builds and Cursed Helmet, she can scale without feeding. She's not the unstoppable monster she once was, but in this season, she reminds enemies why ignoring her is a mistake. When she spins, she doesn't just steal shields, she steals momentum. Now we look at Ling. Ling's path in Season 37 is tricky. On one hand, he still has the best mobility in the game. On the other hand, heavy CC meta and tanky comps make it harder for him to finish fights. But here's the thing, smart Ling players are adapting. Instead of blindly diving, they now wait. Look for isolated targets. Time the Tempest blades perfectly. And with Demon Hunter sword builds, Ling can now shred through tanks too. He's still one of the hardest heroes to master, but this season, those who understand timing and positioning can carry games single-handedly. And lastly, Alucard, the forgotten swordsman. Alucard got a small buff in his lifesteal and damage scaling in early Season 37, and that changed everything. Suddenly, he can duel better, sustain more, and dive lunge. The rise of squishy heroes in side lanes means Alucard can now punish poor positioning. What makes him special isn't just his healing, it's the way he survives when he shouldn't. And in this season, that survival gives his team the edge in drawn-out fights. He's not meta, but he's playable. And for loyal Alucard mains, this season feels like a reward. Season 37 didn't just bring balance changes, it brought stories comebacks, growth, redemption. And for these 10 heroes, it's a season to watch, to learn, and maybe to rise.